What's up guys, it's Quirky. Today we're starting a brand new account on G Generation Eternal and I'm going to be taking you through the process. The main goal of this account is to help new players in areas that were harder for me, but I also want to show you that you don't need a ton of time and money to have fun or build a competitive team. With that being said, I've set some rules for this account. So I finished the tutorials and collected all my gems here. The first thing we're going to do is start pulling some units and try to build a team that can take us through the story mode. I'm looking for High Nu since he's a limited unit that's on par with the Strike, which was the limited unit when the game first released. The reason I'm not re-rolling is because I want to show you guys that you might not always get the units that you want, especially if you're free to play, but that's okay. With that being said, if you're a newer player, maybe you've started within like the last week or two, I'd highly recommend re-rolling. The other thing I want to talk about is that guaranteed UR ticket. I'm actually saving mine because I've saw in the past that when building a team I was just like one unit short and I could have gotten it with the guaranteed UR, but I ended up going for just like my favorite unit at the time and I really regretted it. So we actually pulled the High Nu here on our first multi, which is exactly what we were looking for. Since we're free to play, I'm not going to be spending too many more gems on this banner, but I am going to maybe hit one or two more multis just to see if we can get a supporter that will be useful in the upcoming story modes. And on our second multi, we actually pulled a couple of supporters here, so we're going to save the rest of our gems and then move on to team building. Now that we have our warships, we're going to want to see which units they can buff. So to do that, click your warship, click here, and then hit Affect Target. This is going to show you all of the units in the game with that tag. We can see even though Beach has a 25% stat increase, we don't have any units that could benefit from that. So if we check Chanagi, we'll actually see it's only an 18% increase, but it's going to be affecting the High Nu. Now that we understand tags and how to check them, we're going to talk about pilots and unit types. There are three different types of unit and pilot types: attack, support, and durability. For now, a general rule of thumb is going to be to match your pilot type with your unit type. In the future, there may be some reasons where we don't do that, but we're not going to worry about this for a while. That's it for episode 1, guys. On episode 2, we'll be talking about upgrading and then taking on our first few stages. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.